simplify a radical. Now sometimes the number under your radical, the radicand, is not a perfect square. So it's not a 4 or a 9 or 16 or 25 or 36 or 49 or any of those numbers on the diagonal on the times table. A number times itself. So if I put my index here as 2 and I'm looking for perfect squares as factors of that larger number. So maybe I put 50 under the radical, and 50 would be 5 times 10. That's 5, and then 10 would be 2 times 5. My index of 2 tells me I'm looking for a factor to be repeated twice. And here I've got a 5 times a second 5, or a 5 squared. So under the radical I've got 5 squared times 2. Well, I know the square root of 5 squared, that's just 5. And this simplifies to 5 square root of 2, or 5 radical 2. We pick another number, maybe 72. 8 times 9. 8 is 2 times 4, which is a 2 times a second 2, then times a third 2 to make 8. And 9 is 3 times 3. My index of 2 tells me I'm looking for perfect squares. Well, here I've got a 2 squared times another 2. So I don't want to write this as 2 cubed because my index is squared. So I've got a 2 squared times a 2, and over here I've got a 3 times a 3. That's a 3 squared. So with the square root of 72, the 2 squared, the root would be 2, comes outside. The 3 squared would have a root of 3, comes outside as well. And I've got 3 times 2, 6, square root of 2, or 6 radical 2. Same thing applies when we've got perfect cubes instead. And so maybe we've got 40. Now 40 is 4 times 10. And 2 times 2 is 4. And 10 is 2 times 5. Well, wait a second. 40 is also 5 times 8. And 8 is a perfect cube. 8 is a 2 times a second 2 times a third 2. So if we take the cubed root of 40, 2 is a perfect, the 8 is a perfect cube, 2 to the third power. And if I take the third root of 2 cubed, or the third root of 2 to the third, a 2 comes outside. And the cubed root of 40 simplifies to 2 third root of 5. Let's go back and try 72 again. And that was 8 times 9. And so 2 times 2 times 2 again, there's 8. There's our 2 cubed times 9. Now, these stack nicely to make 2 cubed, or 2 to the third power. This only makes the second power. I don't want to stack those. If I don't see 3, according to my index, I don't want to write that as an exponent. I'll just leave it as 3 times 3, 9. And the square root, the cube root of 2 cubed is 2. And so the cube root of 72 is 2 third root of 9, or 2 cube root of 9.